I'm going to be sharing my story, a major fuck up in my business. I run BMPRO Makeup. We're a team of makeup artists, and I'm just looking to share some knowledge, and hopefully someone will pick up a thing or two on what I did that affected my business in a negative way and how I rose from the ashes.
Actors, celebrities, they always tell you I'm a naturally shy person. So I think I'm a naturally poor person. Because then, So just be saying the opposite as you're confessing the opposite. It will be working for you in the other way, right? Okay. The next speaker that we have, she's a leading businesswoman and CEO of BMPRO Makeup Group. She's an award winner and trailblazer in the fields of cosmetics, makeup education, and beauty consultancy. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for Banke Meshida Lawal.
My name is Banke. I'm a makeup artist. I went to University of Lagos. I studied English, so I had a lot of time. So I remember then I would wake up in the morning at like 6, and I would start doing my makeup from about 6:30. If I had a class for 8 o'clock, I would do my makeup. When I'm done, saunter to class, maybe 8:30. Sometimes I would miss the class, but it was English, and I enjoyed reading. So I did very well. I had a 2-1. I think I discovered myself while I was still in the university. I started this in my first year, by the 3rd semester. So it was makeup, parties. Well, I mean, I was serious at some point. When I graduated, it was time for NYSC. NYSC, I served my father's company, and I was still doing makeovers. In fact, then people would come to the house to have their makeup done, and they would, they would strip me, and they would pay me. So from the onset, I knew that I wanted to do makeup, I wanted to charge people, and I just wanted to, save the world, more or less, one beautiful face at a time. After NYSC, the next thing was, okay, my dad said to me, people can't be coming to this house anymore. I mean, I would come back, I can't even park my car. One woman is coming out of my house, blah, blah, blah. You need to get out of this house. So and then I used to save. I used to save all my money with GT Bank. They had a branch in Unilag then. So I took all the money and I looked for a store on Rumens Road in Ikoyi. That shop was, I think it was about 10 or 15 square meters. Very small. It was just me, and I employed a cleaner. So my cleaner would come in and clean, and then all these women would come in there, and I'll $10. Mrs. Tinubu, everybody would come in to that tiny little store to have their brows done, and it was, I lived it was a happy life. I was happy. I would come from the house. I would transport myself to Romans Road. It was easy. And then my business started to grow. But it was still the same me. I was the accountant. In fact, I was a cleaner sometimes. Everything. I didn't structure my business. So up until last year, everything went on. As the business grew, I decided to expand. We started to manufacture our own products. And all of this was from funding from the business. So people would pay, and I would save the money, and I expanded. And then I brought in girls into the business. I trained. So then I wouldn't even employ makeup artists. I would employ my driver's sister, my gate man's cousin, just trying to save the world and make an impact, just help people that I felt needed a lifeline. So I brought in all of these people and trained them, and I would pour myself into training my staff. Like, if I could break their heads and pour in the artistry in it, I would do it. I held nothing back. I still do that. So sometime last year, I had these 2 girls who were a strong part of the team. And even then, people say to me, Banke, how can you be putting the names of your staff on, for the world to see that they were the ones responsible for this makeup? And I said, look, these girls, when they came, they were cleaners, they were, they started as the cleaner. And then they learned the makeup. And then I said, Auntie, we can do makeup. Oh. And I was always auntie to everybody. That's too. So they got trained and they were very good. And I would send them to my clients because I really wanted my clients to be sorted out. I didn't do this whole segregation of saying staff could not attend to some particular customers. And then they came and they said, oh, we want to leave. And I said, look, you guys have earned it. You've spent 5 years, you've spent 7 years. It's time for you to leave. But when you leave, don't be a stranger to me. I want you to always come back. In fact, we had distributors. You can become distributors and still be, an arm of BMPRO. And I said, oh, no, Auntie, we want to start our own thing. And I gave them my blessing that day in my office, and they left. So this particular day, I went to a fabric store in Lekki. And then I met this family, this woman and her daughter. They were like, oh, BMPRO is doing our makeup next year, May. And I said, oh, nice. Which of the artists did they book for you? And I said, oh, one of your girls. And I said, no, they left. They left last week. They said, no, these girls just came to collect the payment and they brought your BMPRO invoice. I said, no, that's not possible. They said, we paid her 400K yesterday. So I said, okay, can you send me this thing? And then the woman was she was, that day she became my new friend because something like that had happened to her. Her younger sister did the same to her, so she was really passionate and everything. And then she sent me all the receipts and everything, and I said, wow. I sat down, because Excel sheet will summarize everything for you. Since 2015, when they pulled it up, when they summarized, even the manager came and said, Madam, please, what business do you people do in your company that your staff can be taking your money like this? And I said, look, these girls will go to customers and they will say, oh, you need to pay this money to my personal account. When I get to the office, I will remit the money to the company because I need to, alert, network, blah, blah, blah. And, some of these clients will call and I would actually say, yes, it's fine to pay to them. At least, thank you for letting me know. So and then some people wouldn't call at all and they would just do the transfer and that was that. So when they summarized everything, it was a massive amount. And I remember thinking, wow. And then they were in connivance with the manager because they would have to print out invoices to send to customers. And, so top management knew about it. And I just said to myself that, thank God I didn't become this person who left everything to staff. That I was still the makeup artist. I was still the person, the brand. I didn't become this person that, oh, maybe I'm building roads in Asaba now. Oh, yeah, girls be doing the makeup. So that when everything dawned on me that, okay, this is what these girls have done, and this is even just the one that I know. What of other people that, other staff? Because then it was not obvious that everybody was living their own lives on the company's tab. So, we got the police involved. And I must say that the Nigerian police was very wonderful to me. I went to EFCC. When I met Oga Lamodi, I said, please, Oga, I don't want to waste your time. But you're the one handling Desiani's case. My case is very small compared to what it is. And he said, no, that if your staff feel so entitled to do this, then it means there's something wrong with our youth. You've helped these people and this is how they pay you back. No, madam, we're going to follow. Every time someone from EFCC will call me and say they want to go and pick up, I say, what's all this? Me, I just want to do makeup. All this, go and report in, After a while, when they arrested them, even the Nigerian police, they brought their plane tickets. Okay, so they said they went to arrest them and take them to Abuja. And then I said, why Abuja? Then they said because Lagos was compromised. You believe that some of my clients, who are my friends, went to the Panti to bail them out. They're lawyers. So they said, madam, some of your customers that have been coming here, there's one particular one, she's even Igbo. I said, no, it cannot be her. It's not possible. They said, madam, she stood shorty for your girl at 12 midnight, and we let the girl go. Do you know God is so wonderful? Like 2 days later, after the police called me to tell me this, I went to the banking hall and I saw her there and I said, they said it was you, but I don't believe it's you. She said, yes, Banke, you want to chance those girls. You want to, I said, are you in my business? Do you know what my business is? She said, that girl cannot steal 27 million naira from you. I said, oh, right, so you are our accountant now. And she said, I said, okay, you know what you do for me? Just tell them to bring their bank statements for you. So let's see where it will go. She said, no, I've told them, but they haven't brought it. I said, they can never bring it to you because plus you, plus them, you're all criminals together. And I left it. So for the Nigerian police, they arrested them, they locked them up. And it was, and then they called me and said they were going to remand them in Kirikiri. And I thought about it. I said, okay, if I send these girls to Kirikiri, their lives, it's over. If you do 1 year there, when you come out, you cannot. And I just said, and I remember my relationship with them. They were my favorites. When I get into they used to dress like me. When I get into the office, every Tuesday, we used to have management meeting where we discuss brows, makeup, clients. And I would call them for theirs first, and it made, I thought of all of that. And I said, you know what? It's not worth it. Let it go. When I told my husband, and then I was murdered on social media. So that day, when the stories came out, I was ready to start respond. My husband said, "Where? How? In this house?" Just called 2 of my friends. They came. They took my phone. They were like, "You're not going to. You will just be reading it too, but you're not going to respond." I said, "I need to respond. I need to post." Then my friend said to me, "You remember when Dolce & Gabbana had Flack? Did they put anything on their page?" No. Said, so you have to start thinking global. You're not one Nigerian that will just be typing and answering people. You don't know who's watching you. Yes. So I painfully, I didn't respond. So after that whole episode, and then they called me and said it was time to move them to Kirikiri, I just said, you know what, let it go, I'm dropping the case. The police, they were upset too. Madam, this is not even your case anymore. It is between the state and these criminals. They're certified criminals. I said, oh God, I went to see the people that I needed to see. I said, you know what, Uncle, I'm not doing again. Leave it. Let them go. They've stolen. Leave it. Let it go. So, and then these girls didn't know that I knew everything. Because after a while, they used to post, they'll be, God is vindicating, everyone calls God. Yeah. And I would say that when you see someone that's calling God too much, run. Don't call. They are liars, they are thieves, they are crooks. So if you don't want people to see you as a thief, stop calling God anyhow. Let your actions speak God. That's aside. So I let the case go, and I just decided that in my business, I was going to put in the proper structure, and there's some key departments in every business. There's accounts, there's staff welfare, there's human resources, and they all have to be separate. There's the creative part. I just wanted to do makeup. I was sleeping, thinking, I didn't even focus on any other part of the business. What I've learned now is that you can't do everything yourself. You have to have people, you have to hire people that can do this, but still have a part of you in the business. So now we've grown, we're more structured, and then we have international people from the international, from the global family have interest in BMPRO. So I'm so thankful that this happened, because then if it didn't happen to me, I wouldn't have seen the other side. I wouldn't have known what my staff was capable of doing, and I wouldn't be able to put in the checks that we have now. So that's my story.
Thank you very much.
Does anyone have any questions? Yes.
Okay, we have one here.
Okay.
Thank you. So how do you, going forward now, when you say you put checks and balances, what kind of checks? Because obviously you still want to save the world, you still want to inspire and train people.
Yes.
How is it, what kind of control measures are you putting in place for those of us that might find ourselves in your position?
So now I don't get emotional about hiring staff. If you come to me, in fact, my welder will come to me before and tell me, oh, my daughter went to Kinekon, can you? And I will call in the girl and interview the girl myself, and then hire. But now I have a HR who is she worked. And then another problem was that I didn't work mainstream. I didn't have a 9 to 5 when I finished work, when I finished school. So I didn't have the qualities to hire staff. I would just, if you tell me a sub story, Shebi is to teach you makeup, and if you can learn it, but you can't, your business cannot thrive if you continue to do that. Yes, you cannot. So you need to set sentiment aside, follow the norm, have code of conduct and instill that in staff. That way, it's better for your business.
Thank you.
Okay.
Any other question? We have time for like one more.
No? My greatest fear. See this girl, that's my staff. I think sometimes I'm bothered about, now it seems we're still very relevant, BMPRO is still there, you know, after so long. It's been 20 years and we're still there. I wonder how, you know, in another 10 years, how it's going to be. Will it still be, will our makeup still appeal to people because it's the same traditional classic look that we do? So yeah, it's not fear, but sometimes I'm like, oh, what's going to happen to me when I'm in my 50s? Well, hey, let's see.
Hi, Banke. That was. I'm still at a loss for words. I mean, I'm thinking about the amount. I'm thinking about the circumstances behind it. What was this experience like for you?
People hardly share their fuck-up stories. So it was good to also listen to my co-speakers, Yombo and Chioma's story. And for me, I've come a long way from that incident. I've learned so many things, and our BMPRO has more structure now. We have more departments, and we're still learning, we're still growing, but those are things that mustn't be toyed with in every business. So I'm glad that I listened to other people share their stories today.
Amazing.
And I had a great time.
Oh, I saw you. I saw you while the other speakers were listening.